Boobs.
Perfect intro, Kyle. That won't get us demonetized. Actually, I don't think that will.
No, probably
I think we're fine. As long as none of us says. Welcome back to the 184th episode. Good, Bad, or Bad show. Watch every movie stuff you should too. I'm your host, Mr. Ryan Shilligo, joined once again by the other host of this prestigious program, Mr. Kyle Hinton. Kyle?
How do I know we watched a Brian movie?
Look, Kyle, what I'm attracted to is bad modern video.
Oh,
and
you are?
So often that happens to also include gratuitous boobs. I'm not. I don't think I need to explain myself, Kyle. Maybe I do a little bit. There's so many movies I think like this. Anyways, the movie is 2014's Disciples.
There are those who want the pendant. Demons. They are prepared to sacrifice themselves to bring Lucifer forth.
This was, I don't think anybody recommended this. I think somebody recommended a different movie.
No, I know who recommended it. Brian Shilligo recommended it.
I'm the problem, it's me.
Fair enough. But I found it through an actress from a different movie that I didn't think. There was an actress in another movie, Debbie Reynolds? Debbie something, I can't remember her name. Who's been in a lot of schlock. Like, she's like a very well-known kind of schlock actress. And I was looking at her other movies, and this was one of them. And when I started watching this, I was like, this looks like it has potential. Whether or not it does, we'll get to. But I just wanted... I'm done explaining myself, Kyle. I like the movies I like. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm a little ashamed.
I got something for you, baby.
Something for me, Daddy.
I got something good for you, babe.
So
I will say this film did have an actor I knew.
did it?
Yeah, Tony Todd.
Oh, yeah. right. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. That was the other thing. I thought that was fun. Tony Todd makes a brief appearance.
Yeah, everybody in this is just randomly, oh, it's Candyman.
Lord DeLeo.
There was one other, the actor who plays, and I can't remember his name now, the actor who plays Winston, the old guy in the wheelchair, is also a well-known actor.
I was like, what the first I didn't see his face like initially. I turned my head away right as his close-up. Yeah. But as he was talking, I was like, is that Christopher Plummer?
It does kind of look like Christopher Plummer, but in fact, it is Angus Scrim is the name of the actor, who is known, what was he? He's from something. I was like, this guy looks familiar, and then I looked, and he had been in a couple things. Oh, also Linnea Quigley is in this a little bit, who has also been in some things. She was in like Return of the Living Dead. Like, she's been in some like horror, like not big. That's what he's the tall man in Phantasm. Angus Scrim, if you've seen Phantasm, he's the tall man in all the Phantasm movies, which is this character. That character from the Phantasm movies.
My.
But anyways, yeah, he's that guy.
But the game is finished. Now you die.
But this film was written and directed by Joe Hallo, who also has 4 other directing credits that we may have to do someday because they're all very poorly reviewed. No. This is actually among his higher reviewed directorial attempts. You know, it's a sign of quality when you get the opening moments of the film and you see that ITN distribution, baby. You're in for a treat. Also, I love that. So Joe Hallo's production company is Hallo Films. And I was like, did you think about that name, like, at all? Like, what that implies about your movies, like, at all, before you went with Hallo Films? Yeah. I want to express, before we start here, this movie is incomprehensible, in my opinion. There's two, unless, did you understand it?
Now, compare this to, let's say, what was that one with the Aztec root, like curse one with the heart in the wall, the stone heart? Oh, why can't I think of it? It's one we did like not too long ago.
The Aztec. Dark Ritual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it up there on that level?
I would say that's way more competent or way more like understandable than this movie. In my opinion, I actually kind of understood what was going on in that movie to some extent. This movie, there's too many characters. There's too much lore and background shit, which maybe you would understand if you knew a lot about demonology, stuff, because it's all like actual mythology kind of stuff.
It's like devil,
Lucifer and Asmodeus and all
devils, demons,
angels,
archangels and stuff like that.
Seraphim. So there's like some built-in mythology they're trading on, but I just don't know any of it enough. Like if you were a big fan of like Constantine, you might like the movie or the comic Constantine. You might be able to follow this.
They're being controlled by a demon whom they call firstborn, was stolen from the mother and father by a secret society. We don't know. It's feared to be a descendant. This mother and father have helped to bring two children into the world. Both wear the mark of the demon's blood. The firstborn was stolen from the mother.
But I simply could not. And it started minute 1 because we show up in this house and there's some priest there dressed like a Catholic priest. Turns out he's not a Catholic priest. He's a Lucifer priest or something. Yes. He's like, I'm not that kind of priest.
God's name has no place here. You see, you never came to my church. That was his. And I am still a priest. I'm just a different kind of priest.
And then he's there with a guy and his wife. And his wife is, and I believe the wife is the actress that Debbie Reynolds or whatever her name was, who I found from some other movie. And she's just laying on the couch, just horned up for some reason. And before we just jump right in, I'm like, what is even? There's no explanation for anything that is going on right now. Like, why is she already? He hasn't done anything yet that we're aware of.
No.
And she's already just like on the couch, like moaning and like writhing around. And I'm like, what is happening?
Take Elizabeth here. She seems to be enjoying herself. Elizabeth, my dear, are you enjoying yourself?
That's my wife.
And then the husband is like really upset about this.
I have no words for anything going on. Like things in this film happen for the sake of the plot.
Yes. And I don't know what the plot is even. So
yeah. The plot doesn't follow a timeline of events. The plot moves forward and things happen around it.
Yes, absolutely. But he's like, the husband guy's like, how dare you? I thought you were a priest. And he's like, I'm a different kind of priest. And then he goes over and they like kill the husband, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Time's up.
And he goes over and he sits down next to this woman on the couch. And he just starts touching her boobs. And then he starts touching somewhere else.
Demonetized.
And now his hands are bloody. The movie does. I'm not sure what we're meant to imply from that revelation. If there's an injury or something else going on.
All he said was she's ready, or like she's primed and ready for whatever. So.
And then he eats it.
Ah, yes. You are ready indeed.
Like a fucking weirdo. Well, I mean,
my notes
he is a demon lord or devil or whatever.
He is Asmodeus, or no. Yeah, he's
Asmodeus. Isn't that demon lord of lust, right? Or whatever?
Yes, I believe he is Asmodeus, yeah. And my note just says, pardon me, what? Like, I just said, moment, we're 3 minutes into the movie, Kyle. I was like, what, pardon me, what is happening?
Yep, the second we got into boobs and that, I was like, yep, that's a Brian movie.
And then it's... I'm going to defend and say it's getting close to Halloween, Kyle. That's why I picked this movie. Yep. It's getting close to Halloween.
Yeah, that's why. It's thematic. It's seasonal.
Then we cut to the beach, and there's a woman on the beach in a robe, and then there's an amulet that she drops. And this all seems to be like flashes during this, from like in the mind of the woman on the couch or something. And then we see a naked, bloody woman in a church, and then we pull to the outside of the church, and I love the sign on the church just says Christian Church, which I assume is like an old timey thing, like maybe, I don't know, whatever. Then we cut and we see Oh, and then it's like, so she's like, then we get the opening credits, I think, after that. Maybe, I can't remember.
I don't think you can describe this film.
It's impossible. It's impossible. I'm going to sound insane. But this...
You belong to me now.
Anyways, we cut and there's an Italian nun praying with the worst subtitles I've ever seen. In like a script font. It's terrible.
I don't know why. I mean, granted, it's not like a whole lot of people speak Latin, but like this would be the spot where you'd kind of want that.
Maybe she is speaking Latin in this scene, but we find out she's Italian. And you know, they're descendants. Well, Italian's a descendant, I think, of Latin, right?
Yeah.
Surely. So it's close. Whatever. Who cares? Yes, but I agree.
Spanish and French are too.
Yes, yeah, they're all those romance languages. But she is praying to Jesus or something.
Per favore, aiutami a rimanere sulla giusta via. Prego che tu mi ascolti.
And we will not see her again for 20 minutes, but remember her, she's kind of important, I think, somehow to the story. I don't know how. I couldn't tell you, gun to my head. But then she walks into a church. Right?
Yes, she's looking for Father Tom.
Sister,
Can I help you?
yes. Well, I hope so. I'm looking for Father Thomas.
I love that she walks in and there's a nun there already, like praying. And my favorite detail here is that they're shooting in this like Catholic church. They couldn't be bothered, and we get this like wide shot from behind, and it's supposed to be this big like dark, you know, cool like atmospheric thing. They couldn't be bothered to like move the music stands from that morning's like fucking
the hymns
service off the stage. So you have these like this like random assortment of music stands sitting on the stage that like ruins the atmosphere entirely. And all of their interactions are shot with just giant floodlights blasting them in the face with light. And it's like, you're in a dark church. It should be scary and moody. And it's like, it's like these lights are like blaring them in the fucking face. Anyways, drove me crazy. Then, surprise, we cut. And I'm going to say this so many times. We cut and we end up somewhere that I do not understand. There's a guy sleeping. This is Father. We're introduced to Father and Mother. Father is dreaming. This episode is going to be this episode is going to be 45 minutes of me describing the plot and Kyle going,
"What?" I will say the father, mother, and this was the only thing I could even follow because it was the only thing. Because like all it is them being like, we are two immortals, or we are two like beings who try to get away, tried to get away from all the other demon stuff. And
is that what they did?
And then they committed the ultimate sin of immortals having a child, which I guess they're not supposed to do or something.
Oh, yeah. They had two kids, we find out. Victoria and somebody else.
This mother and father have helped to bring 2 children into the world who both wear the mark of an unknown power. The firstborn was stolen from the mother and father by a secret society funded by the church. And the other one has grown up. Her name is Victoria.
Dude, I couldn't follow any of this, but because he is now dreaming. He's having a nightmare about like torturing and murdering some woman.
And I couldn't tell if this was because they're also like very old.
Yes, this actually happened, I think.
So I couldn't tell if this was he was experiencing somebody else's life, or if this was him like 100-some years ago.
I think this is him because eventually we will find out that they killed somebody for some reason that I do not know.
But the congregation is
What? Tell me.
They are the people that we killed.
And I think this is that, and he has like recurring nightmares about it. Also, while all of this is going on, he's also on TV as a preacher because that's what he used to do. I think this movie's impossible, man. I don't even know. Then we get introduced to 2 more characters. There's too many fucking characters.
Is the 2 younger ones on the beach?
Yes, this is the redhead who lost her pendant on the beach, and the other one who is the mother.
Okay.
Yeah, those 2 characters were introduced to, which Mother is just called the Mother, I think. And then the redhead is Victoria.
Yes. And the redhead's like biggest thing is that this pendant is like some sort of ancient old was it Greek kind of amulet that was either warded away demons or preserved something. I don't know.
Fuck if I know. I don't know what any. I watched this movie 3 hours ago, Kyle.
They bring up
Could
a
not tell you
comparison
anything.
to amethyst being used to ease intoxication.
Yeah, like they would grind up amethyst, which obviously didn't do anything, but they would grind up amethyst back in like Rome or something to like, or in the Middle Ages or something to, make people get less drunk and like put it in their wine or whatever.
Did you know that in ancient Rome, crushed amethyst was put in their wine to prevent intoxication?
Why the hell would anyone want to do that?
And so this is a similar thing. It somehow keeps you from being, it eases your lustful thoughts or something like. I don't fucking know. Who cares?
It does have magical powers. It helps me with my compulsive disorder.
But then we're introduced to fucking another 2 new characters. But it's my favorite moment of introducing characters. This is the 2 emo characters who look like they stepped directly out of the Incubus.
Yes, yes.
Fucking directly out of the Incubus, man. It's this dude with long hair and another redheaded chick. And they're talking, and I love the way we're introduced to them. We just hear, wait, what are you talking about? Sex demon.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
A sex demon. They visit you in your sleep.
You mean you prayed for a sex demon?
I prayed to a sex demon. They call it a succubus.
It's like, what is happening?
The dude was like, I'm praying for a succubus.
I want a succubus, which is another connection to Incubus. It's the opposite there.
I wonder if you feel my eyes on you as you walk into the room. Do you notice me through the crowd as you would move?
So another 2 new fucking characters also crack me up. This scene is clearly happening at their local zoo. They're clearly, it's like, it looked so much, I don't know if you've been to St. Louis Zoo, it looked so much to me like the, there's like the river part, I can't remember what it's called, where like all the elephants and stuff are at the St. Louis Zoo. It looked like they were there. It was so very funny to me. Very funny place to have succubus conversations to me, but whatever.
A sex demon.
Then they had found an amulet.
Mm-hmm.
She found that amulet on the beach, I think.
Yes.
Why don't you tell me something about that magic pendant that you found on the beach yesterday?
I never said it was magic.
Because then he takes her, the emo guy takes emo girl, who I believe is Kelly, maybe, to his sister. We're introduced to 3 more fucking characters. There's too many fucking characters in this movie. And his sister is like a drug addict who also knows about like demon stuff, occult stuff or something.
You've been wanting to meet my stepsister, right? Well, I think she knows someone that might be able to help you. All right, check it out. Way back when, she used to go see this old lady for like psychic readings and things like that. And supposedly she could really read your thoughts.
His sister very decidedly not wearing a bra in this movie. And then she walks into a room, and I guess it's her roommate / boyfriend is on the couch, and there's another girl who like is trying to make out with him. And in the middle of this scene, the sister is like trying to stop the other girl from like making out with him, and I don't know what any of this has to do with anything.
What
Kyle,
is going on?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
You want to smoke some really good shit?
Oh, yes, I do.
No. No, they don't.
I have no idea. But he knows
Joe, why is any of this relevant?
Then he warns them, don't go looking for the person that the amulet belongs to because it's dangerous. And I'm like, why does this random drug addict know about this magic? Who is any of this? What is any of this? There's none of it.
Joe, here's a rule of thumb when you're taking advice from other directors. Zack Snyder can do a 4-hour cut of Justice League because he's got time in each thing to build it. If you take
some would argue even that.
If you take all that and just take all those parts and just squeeze each part down to like 3 minutes, Nobody's gonna fucking follow it.
No, it's literally unfollowable. This movie is unfollowable. Because
this feels like a mini series.
Yeah.
That was condensed into like little 5-minute chunks.
You were absolutely correct. What we were watching is this movie is like an hour and 25 minutes long. We were watching what it feels like we're watching is like 5 minutes from every episode in the series, just like stitched together back and in a way so it makes no sense. Like all of a sudden we're just like in the next episode and we have like 5 minutes of context from episode 1 but nothing else, and we're like, wait, what is happening now? Because then we just cut and we're in a swimming pool, and the priest from the beginning, who we don't know yet but we'll later find out is Asmodeus, and the woman from the beginning the blood woman that was eating her blood is there, and they're just in the pool together now because I guess she like is under his spell or something now.
Yes.
And then there's a demon lady.
This is so nice.
Do you mind if I tell you just how beautiful you are?
Thank you.
Who we will find out is a different demon.
Yes.
And she's just naked in the pool. And with the worst skeleton I wore this for her because it's like she has like the bones.
I figured that was it. Yeah.
She has like the bones painted onto her. It looks so terrible. And there's a scene later we'll talk about where
her eyes go crazy.
That, and then even one after that, which we'll get to, it's incredible. But yeah, she's just like another demon lady. And then, so we will find out that she's just a different one of like these like demons or whatever. She's like, I can't remember. Her name's Tatiana, but I can't remember. No, she's not Tatiana. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
See, there's too many people.
Too many fucking characters.
But you're not far off because the next person we're introduced to, I think is in the same scene, is Tatiana, one of the wives of Lucifer.
Tatiana, what a nice surprise.
Please, call me by my real name.
Good Bad Malat, stunning bride of Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Yes.
Like the only person who would seem to have any actual power.
Yeah. Well, no, but they're all demons, so they all have power.
They're all demons, but like she's got an instant connection to the big guy.
True, she is like the main. Yeah, she's got a connection to the main one. So. Again, we find out. Then we cut, and we find out the father who is again, it was only referred to as the father in this movie. He's having dreams of him murdering people in his past, and then, and like you said, they haven't aged in like over 100 years, and they're Victoria, the necklace lady, the girl who had the necklace in the beginning, is their newest daughter or something like that. And to me, they almost sounded like they were setting them up as like vampires, like she got turned or something.
But Victoria is fragile. She hasn't been around as long as we have, and we're all that she knows.
We have not aged in over 100 years.
I don't know if that's the case, but I love, my favorite thing in this scene is they're talking, and then fucking the father character goes, I'm just concerned about all the things I've done. And as the millisecond he finishes talking, we get this very dramatic sound effect that goes, duh, and then it just hard cuts to the next scene. It's so, the editing is so infuriating.
My only concern is the bad things I've done.
But then this is where Tatiana shows up. She comes up and to warn the other demons. She's one of Lucifer's wives.
Yes.
She's warning the other demons that if the mother and father if their first child is a descendant of the seraphim, and that they need to somehow like defeat them to stop. They need to defeat or kill mother and father. I'm having a stroke, Kyle. Mother and father, and somehow do something with their child to keep that child who has the blood of the seraphim from becoming like an angel on earth, because that would fuck up their Lucifer shit. I don't know. I don't know.
I wrote this straight out. I'm going to rip this straight out of out of the Truman Show. What are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Somehow do something with their child to keep that child who has the blood of the seraphim from becoming like an angel on earth, because that would fuck up their Lucifer shit.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know, Kyle. I don't know. I feel like a crazy person. Oh, God.
The seraphs. Fallen angels with wings of fire.
Yes, but this prophecy reads too much like a riddle. We don't know if it's a demon or an angel. What we do know is that it's very powerful.
But then we get before that, we actually get a flashback of the father as like from when he was a preacher way back in the day. And I love, he's having a nightmare of him killing somebody. And we just get a close up on this woman's boobs for no, it's in his nightmare, but the edit is just like, and during the scene of him killing her, we'll just close up on boobs for 5 seconds. And we're good. Okay, I was like, okay, and this movie knows what it's doing.
I'm haunted by this, but still.
Look at them boobies. And then he has, in his nightmares, he's leading a church, and in the church is made up of all the people he has killed or something like that, he says.
I'm a pastor or reverend of a church, and I'm reading to the congregation, but the congregation is that...
What? Tell me.
They are the people that we killed.
And then he says all of these people like crucify him. He says they put him up on a cross, but I was dying because the cross they put him up on is not the cross you would think of. If you were like, oh, they're gonna crucify a preacher, then maybe they put him on like the Christian cross. No.
Yeah.
They put him on like a St. Andrew's cross, like the X-style cross.
Yeah.
And that has a
like they're gonna flay him.
In modernity and in old times, but in modernity there's a slightly different context to that kind of cross. But sure, I was like, I don't know what's going on there. But then so we said the father and the mother they have had 2 children. Victoria's the oldest. She has a pendant apparently filled with blood that you mentioned, the amethyst one or whatever. And then again, they're worried though that the youngest daughter or the oldest, whatever, one of the other daughters will, because she has the blood of the seraphim in her, will become the seraphim, and that will be bad for them or something. Which, spoilers, is what happens at the end, I think. Because we will find out that the character that is their long-lost other daughter, spoilers, is the woman from the first scene.
Yeah.
It's you. You're the one. Your name is Rain, right?
No, it's the blonde lady.
Is that one?
Because the lady from the first scene is the Watcher.
Well, fuck me. You're the Watcher.
Who's the Watcher, do you ask? I don't fucking know who the Watcher is, Kyle. What is the Watcher? Because the what's her name becomes the Watcher. The woman from the first scene, the wife that he on the couch that he fingered, she is the Watcher, Kyle. She will show up later and she will be like, I am the Watcher, fear me. And I'm like, I don't understand what the Watcher is, Kyle. And then, but the other lady, the blonde lady who ages back and forth through time because when she has the pendant, Kyle, she gets younger. But when she doesn't have the pendant, she ages again, which was actually pretty impressive old age makeup for how terrible this movie is.
I think they just used rubber cement.
Oh, and like puckered her skin.
Yeah.
Could be. It looks pretty okay. But the blonde lady, whose name is Rain, we will find out who, I don't know what that's the woman they went to find out more about the amulet. It actually might be right here. I don't even remember. Oh, yeah. This is it. It's where they go in, because this is the next scene. They then, the 2 emo kids go in. The 2 emo... The 2 emo kids go in. I'm just trying to get through. I don't know what to do, Kyle. I'm gonna lose my mind if I don't just yell this whole movie at you. The two emo kids go into the old lady's house, and we get this great reveal where she turns around and the camera goes, and they're like, she's old. Oh my god.
Hello. You okay?
Oh, Jesus.
It's a jump scare, old person jump scare, which is incredible.
Oh my god.
But they find out that she knows about this amulet or whatever. Meanwhile, side story, side plot, we got to jump over. The Incubus guy's drug sister is giving a striptease to her drug boyfriend guy. then he like injects her with meth or something or heroin. I don't know. But she's like giving him a striptease. Then we cut back. Emo kids are talking to old lady, Rain, blonde old lady, who used to have the amulet. She gets the amulet. Once she gets the amulet, she de-ages.
Yes.
Then we're introduced to another, because then we cut away. I don't even know what happens in that scene. They just talk about the amulet for a little bit, I think.
Like, all this episode is just you setting
I don't know what happened, Kyle.
I got boxes full of Pepe.
And then, Kyle. And then.
Carol!
Jesus Christ. That right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay?
And then we cut to the fucking. We cut to the introduction of Winston, who is the old
Not
Angus
Christopher
Scrim in
Plummer.
a wheelchair. Who is in a wheelchair, an automatic wheelchair that has a tiny Dalek on the back of it.
Yes.
I don't know what the fuck that is, but he's in a wheelchair. And Kyle, I cannot express enough the outside of the old manor or whatever that they're meeting at
Does not look wheelchair accessible.
True, but it also looks like a fucking miniature golf course.
It does.
I don't know what it actually is, Kyle, but it looks like the castle at a miniature golf course. Oh my god.
These are Tabitha and Brianna. My servants are your servants. Gifts to our beloved council for this year's gathering.
And so we're introduced to Winston. And then again, this is where they reveal, because now all the devil people, there's like 7 of them, are showing up for their meeting. And we're introduced, we find out the priest is Asmodeus, Tatiana is Argoth, she's got 3 names, something who knows.
Argoth, Bat, Malacht.
Winston as Azazel.
Is the goat demon.
Yeah. Also, for some reason, Winston knows that the emo kid is going to summon a succubus with the pendant. How does he know about any of that?
There's a boy out there who called upon a demon to come take away his loneliness for love and for lust.
He called on the succubus?
Yes.
If anything, you think the demon lord of lust would know that.
Yeah. Why does Winston know that? Okay, so then we're back with the emo kids. And the pendant, like I said, made the blonde lady younger. Also, she has some sort of book that has like little kid doodles in it in blood. That look really stupid.
It does. It does.
I don't know.
These are ancient tomes passed down in my family for generations. This looks like finger paint.
Yeah, it really does. And she explains that they need to return the pendant to where they found it. For some reason, I'm not sure why.
Now go and leave it where you found it, because eventually they will come and take it.
Then, but surprise, remember the old Italian nun? She's still in this movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, yep.
What's happening? We get to this old Italian nun. I don't remember if anything happens there. She goes to do something, but then, she's still in the church talking to that lady from the beginning. Then we cut away. That's the other thing. The editing in this movie. No scene can play out for more than like 20 seconds before we cut to just another entirely different scene. We can't just have a whole scene happen. We have to like fucking cut around constantly. Because then we're over and Victoria is on the beach. The robed lady is on the beach looking for her pendant.
Like a crazy person.
Yeah, and she just stumbles into the emo kids.
Have something that belongs to me.
Also, this whole scene, the compression on the audio is terrible because they're on the beach. It's just like...
You will remember me only as lights.
Then we cut back to the Italian nun who's talking to some other priest.
I already told you I wish I could help you.
Father Thomas, I think he said. Yeah. And I love, he was introduced when he walks into the scene, he walks out of like the belfry or whatever and gives his first line from a mile away from the microphone. So it just echoes like crazy and you can barely hear him. And then the camera just lingers on him as he awkwardly and slowly walks down this. Everything about this movie is fucking terrible.
Your father has led you to a man who has no idea who you are.
It's all right, Sister Faith. I'm Father Thomas.
But then we find out that Father Thomas knew Asmodeus, the priest.
I guess it's just known that in the priesthood that there's like literal demon lords.
I guess. Well, he says that like at one point he's like, he was a priest with me, and somebody complained that he looked at their baby a little weird. I'm like, oh!
There was a priest who worked with us here at the church for quite a few years, actually. And then one day I received a complaint about the way he looked upon a child during the service.
And he goes, and initially I just thought he was like, you know, one of those priests. And he goes, then I realized actually he had a living
going to capture
demon
your soul.
It was as if there was something inside of him, something evil and very powerful. He knew I was aware of who he really was. Asmodeus.
He had a living. Then I realized he was literally Asmodeus incarnate. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I love the line he then says is, and then he ejaculated on the Holy Bible and left.
He ejaculated on the Holy Bible and left.
Wow, that escalated quickly. Yeah, that really got it out fast, didn't it?
Fast, didn't it? Just ejaculated on the Bible and left.
He ejaculated on the Holy Bible and left.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Then I believe it might be Rain is talking to Kelly, the emo girl. Somebody's talking to Kelly, the emo girl, and they're talking about how somebody needs a virgin for something. And I love the person talking to Kelly goes, so you're a virgin? And there's a pause and Kelly goes, yes. And then we get a dramatic da-da-da.
So you're a virgin.
Yes.
It's incredible. I will say, Asmodeus, the priest guy, his performance is incredible. That was
he's
my
so
favorite
over the
part of
top.
the movie.
Come on, Frederick. How long have you known me? I trust my gut far more than I do the succubus and her carnivorous vagina.
Yeah.
He reminded me of the incubus, of the uncle in the incubus.
Yes.
Why didn't I tell you?
What did I tell you about talking to strangers?
He's not a stranger.
How come I ain't never seen him before?
Also, we're introduced to his like main enforcer guy in this scene,
the Russian demon guy,
but who was also doing like looks like he's doing like a De Niro impression. He's like, he's got his eyes completely closed, and he's
you talk to me.
Yeah.
So what will you have us do, huh?
I made an arrangement with this.
Exactly.
You talk to me.
That's literally what he's doing. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah,
Then we cut. He's got to go hunt somebody down for some fucking reason.
It
Who
was
cares?
it was the drug dude. It was the
right
drug dealer dude.
Drug dealer dude because they know something.
The whole point is I think they needed to get the succubus kid because he was a way for them to find the seraph, whatever.
Boy, I don't know how you understood this.
I don't know, but
better than I do.
But they were like, we know that he was asking for one of our succubuses, and so we need to make sure that nobody can track him back. So we need to kill everyone that brought him up to that point.
Right.
For some reason. So
right.
And he's gonna lead them to the one with the blood.
Boy, I did not get any of that. I'm glad you did.
Maybe I'm just guessing.
No, I think you might be right. But then we cut from there to a pond. There's just this pond, which again feels like the water feature at a fucking miniature golf course. I cannot stress enough. And the demon lady is just with some other lady there, and she's like a vampire now. She like gnaws on her neck, and there's just blood everywhere. And this is a shot where she's like like freaking out, and it looks so ridiculous. I love it so much. She just eats the shit out of her.
You hear somebody in the background. Is everybody good here? Is everybody good? Anybody need any refreshments or anything? Okay, well, thanks for coming to the Orange County Country Club. I can only imagine they have like this is at a like country club golf course or whatever, and they have like attendants like trying to serve. I was like, we're filming a movie.
You just see like a little kid walk through in the background with their parents and this naked demon lady, and there's like blood pouring out of her mouth or whatever. It's incredible. And then we actually get to the scene where emo dude summons the succubus. It's like 2 seconds, but it's incredible. Yes. My favorite moment of this is he's like the succubus shows up and like starts descending from the sky or whatever, like into his bedroom, and he just goes, "Wow." It's
Owen
the
Wilson.
most monotone, like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. Then Asmodeus' thug guy breaks into the sister's house and injects her with a bunch of drugs and murders her.
It's the funniest guy. In the later scene where we find her is the funniest fucking thing.
It looks like they colored on her with like Sharpies or something. It looks so stupid. Oh my God. And then also Asmodeus goes and finds the old blonde lady and strangles her with a rosary for some reason.
Yes.
I'm honored that you recognize my presence. I was beginning to lose faith in you, old woman.
I don't know why he needs to kill her, but
dude, because like that's one of the things. I think it's one of, I can't remember which Hitman game, but that was one of the weapons you could strangle somebody with a rosary piece.
Yeah. And I guess the thing that's weird is that she will end up being the Seraphim or whatever. I guess he just wasn't able to kill her for some reason, but it didn't seem like he was killing her because he knew she was the Seraphim. It feels like he was killing her just because, or I don't fucking know.
Oh my God. Hang on, let me help you. Hey. Oh no.
But he kills her. Then meanwhile, emo dude shows up and finds the dead drug sister being dead. And then I think he also maybe gets killed. We don't see. They just like something happens to him off camera.
Yeah.
I feel like. Then the drug guy shows up. The drug dealer guy shows up, and he's like making a deal with them, or had made a deal with them, or something. I think. But because Asmodeus' two thugs are there, which later we'll find out is Astaroth and then somebody else. I can't remember.
Rainier, host to Payamon. Brethren, host to the ever-feared Astaroth.
And I love the drug guy, like, knows they're gonna double cross him, so he has a knife.
Fucking yeah, he slits, it gets one of them in the throat, and then the Russian pit bull guy, he just right through his bottom of his oh, it's great.
Stupid motherfuckers! Well, but first he stabs them so gingerly before he impales him in the neck. The first stab we see, he's like, eh. He gives like the tiniest little like, eh. Looks like he just like poked him with it.
This is adorable. It is.
But yeah, he stabs him in the neck, like up through the mouth, thinking he killed him, but surprise, he's like a demon or whatever, so it didn't fucking kill him.
Shit, man. Hey, look, I'm sorry about that. Hey.
Then we cut back, and now Asmodeus has broken into the church where Father Thomas and the other nun was, and he's looking for the Italian nun. I don't know how he knows about her, but he does. He's looking for her, and they like won't tell him where he is.
Where is she? Is she still a virgin?
Yes.
William tries to like convince him that he's not evil, or so he's like tries to like appeal to his better nature or whatever, and he's like, William, stop! That me is dead!
William, stop!
That me is dead?
He's like, I'm a demon, blah, blah. It's so fucking, this dude's demon
so over
acting
the
is
top.
incredible. I love it so much.
Ready to be born again, sister.
Then they have the Luciferian Council. They all show up at the fucking golf course.
This felt like some hilarious Illuminati shit.
Yes, they're all standing like around the room on like the balcony and like talking to each other. It's fucking incredible.
This is also finally where Tony Todd comes in.
Yes, and I was like, please stop introducing new characters. Good lord.
Lord DeLeo.
But yes, Tony Todd finally does show up, and all of the performances during this scene are incredible. When they're just like going around the room acting like absolutely insane people.
The succubus gave us some good information. We need to put an end to this.
We should go after the girl. Then find the mother and the father. We need to find the mother and the father.
I agree! Let us waste no more time!
And again, we found out that the redhead emo is a virgin. That's important because the Luciferian people need a virgin to be the host of an angel or something. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? Tony Todd's here. He's Belial. Sure, fine, whatever.
They also have like a sacrifice of, what was it, like 7 sacrifices, and that was the people who are the demons to ascend to the council or something like that.
Yes, if they are going to, if their plan fails, they will have to sacrifice themselves in order for Lucifer to like rise, or I don't know, for something. And yeah, the 7 of them need to kill themselves.
A sacrifice will be required.
Whose? You?
All 7 of us.
In order to enact their plan. And I think what it ends up being is that secretly, as Modius was doing this plan and like he ends up killing them all. We'll get to it. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, Tony Todd, aka Belial, has broken into the father's house. He's just waiting for him with the world's tiniest noose that he's swinging around.
What is it?
For whatever reason.
To meet your maker.
Meanwhile, Demon Lady kills another random woman in the pond. Like, we just cut back to her killing another random lady in the pond. And I love this scene. This is the one I was talking about. She's like, they're in a pond up to like their waists or whatever. And this demon lady, whichever demon she is, she has like makeup painted on. And in this scene, she's like splashing around and her makeup is all just running off. It's all just running off into the pond. And I'm like, oh, it looks so bad. It looks so bad. Then some other random blonde woman in pasties shows up and is talking to Winston. She's in like like she just got done doing her like cabaret dance and is like, I'm like, what is this? Unsurprised, Winston can stand, which obviously he's a demon. Even though he's an old man, he just stands up. And then he turns into a demon for like a split second.
A goat.
He is the worst old man goat makeup. It's incredible. Then he turns into a giant goat, a CG goat.
Oh, God.
And this is the scene. Kyle, they have a masquerade goat orgy. It's incredible. This random one of these women servants walks up and starts sucking goat demon dick. Demonetized. She starts sucking this goat demon's dick off. I don't know what's happening at this point, but it's incredible.
Any particular reason why this film was on a Daily Motion, Brian?
I mean, this could be on Tubi. There's nothing too bad in this. It could be on Tubi. There just also happens to be a goat orgy, goat demon orgy. Also, surprise, emo dude is alive. They captured him and they're just like draining him of blood, or like they're sucking his blood randomly in this miniature golf dungeon or whatever the fuck that they have going on here. Then Asmodeus kills Tatiana. He like snaps her neck and like turns her head around backwards, which we get a little bit of a fun makeup effect for that. And then the demon lady murders Astaroth, who's one of the other demon guys. I don't remember. She murders another guy. Then we cut back and find out that the mother and father character, they lost their daughter. Their daughter died at one point and made a deal with Belial, and that's where they got like the eternal life or something, and maybe it brought their daughter back. I don't know. They say at one point their daughter died, and they made some sort of deal with Belial, and that's what turned them into the weird immortal like people that they are.
Susan and David Shepard. After the death of your precious 7-year-old daughter, the both of you lost faith.
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea.
I don't know why I should be shocked, surprised, or even question anything at this point.
No, I have no idea.
Things happen. Plot go burr, whatever.
Yeah. I love. Then we cut back to Asmodeus fighting somebody else, and he says something about. I can't remember the context of this. I must stress again, I just watched this movie this morning. Stone cold sober, drinking coffee, nice and alert, and somehow I remember nothing about what the fuck is happening.
It was an Irish coffee.
It was not. Just totally just there, locked in, ready to watch this movie, and there's too many fucking details, and I've lost them all. But he has this great line delivery.
And now I think I'll wait before removing your head, so that you can see. As I tear apart your insides.
He does this great he talks normal and then explodes in demonic anger, and I love it so much.
What crazed butchery is this? You have slain an incomparable goddess.
Then we're back again, and it's just so many times my note is like, sorry, what's happening now? We're back with the mother and father, and they're like zombies. They're like gray.
Okay.
And the blonde lady's there. Rain or whatever is there. Why is she there? Surprise, then we cut over. Winston is dying.
Yes, he's just on the ground dying.
Because what's her name, I guess, attacked him. Tony Todd is very sad about this because they were old demon friends, I guess.
And they're like talking about like old Greek philosophers.
He quotes a famous quote from some Greek I think it's a politician or something.
There's like historical figures throughout the ages and their last words. It's like, do we have anything significant to say? Yeah, not really.
No.
A Florentine diplomat and political philosopher in 1527 said, right before he died, I desire to go to hell and not to heaven.
Winston dies, I think. I'm not sure. Then we cut, and Victoria, who's one of the characters in this movie, I don't remember. She's one of the daughters of the mother and father. She's in bed, and the blonde lady's there. And she has a flaming thing on her chest. The Victoria does, the girl in the bed. And the blonde lady ends up taking her blood for some reason. And at this point, I was like, I'm long past trying to understand what the fuck is happening in this movie. But then she takes her blood for some reason. And I believe that blood will eventually allow Kelly, the emo girl from the beginning, to become the next carrier of the Seraphim bloodline.
Right, because she injects herself with it.
At the end, yeah.
But if you inject yourself with what I have left for you, then you will see what everyone else cannot.
I don't know. Anyways, there's a great line where somebody says, how about this? In the name of the Father, the Mother, and the Holy. Fuck you!
How about this? In the name of the Mother, and of the Father, and of the Holy. Fuck you!
We also find out Belial killed Asmodeus' daughter. Who was that? I don't know. I don't care. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Then we get great Belial and Asmodeus square off. This is their big demon
they get
fight.
Like some great demon makeup.
Absolutely. It's incredible. Tony Todd gets some demon makeup, and this guy gets like the red demon makeup. And then it's very anticlimactic, though, because the other demon lady just stabs Belial in the back, and he dies.
Yep.
And it would we get the worst decapitation ever. He just cuts his head off, but you don't see anything.
There's like no noise either.
There's no noise. There's no nothing.
Until we meet again, old friend.
And then when his body falls over, it's silent. Like, you got to give me like the thud of his body falling over. Just nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely
There's
nothing.
no gravity. Literally no gravity to the situation.
No. This movie's fucking... Spoilers, this movie's terrible. Bad. Then, surprise, the lady from the beginning is like a demon now. The blonde lady. No, not the blonde lady. The other woman from the beginning. This is what I was talking about. The brunette from the beginning is the Watcher. She walks up and she's like, surprise.
I am now the Watcher.
I am the Watcher. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know what that means. Nobody knows what that means.
My brain is far turned off at this point.
Yeah, same thing. Then, surprise, reveal, the blonde lady is now a giant fuck-off flaming angel thing with her boobs out, because of course it has to be. And then I guess my thought was that maybe she used Victoria's blood to somehow like channel the seraphim or something. And then I guess Asmodeus dies because we just kind of cut away and don't see what happens there.
I thought Lucifer was like, hey, you know how you were the demon lord of lust, but you backstabbed me, so now you're the demon lord of deception. Go fuck yourself.
You're right. That does happen. But that... I don't fucking know, man. We just kind of cut away and I don't... Yeah.
For me! I'll see you in hell. You virgin whore bitch!
We cut back to Kelly, who is the emo girl. I think the only character that's alive still, maybe? I'm not sure. She's reading a fucking book from the blonde lady that wrote her. And there's like exposition VO explaining that she now has like the demon mark. She has the thing, and she has this mark on her chest. Or no, she gives her the book and the vial, or the syringe of blood.
Yeah.
And she injects herself with the blood, and she becomes the vessel of the seraphim or something. And then she takes her shirt off, and the last shot of the movie is just a woman with a flaming thing on her chest and boobs. And I was like, yeah, that tracks.
When it's time, I'll be there for you. I am always watching. He is always watching.
Oh, there's a mid-credit scene, Kyle. We just cut to the girl, the blonde woman with pasties, just walks up. She's carrying the demon lady's head.
I didn't watch this.
And there are some other just hot women standing around, and then the head starts screaming, and then it ends. And it means nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. I did nothing.
Oh
this
my
movie's
God.
fucking bad.
This is beyond bad.
It's
bad. This is
atrocious. It's inscrutable in a way that will drive you crazy. Similar to like a
You know, fuck it. Dragon Fight's good bad.
Oh yeah, I like it. Yeah, in retrospect, Dragon Fight is a fucking masterpiece of good bad cinema. This is atrocious. It's again, it gave me a headache watching it. It's giving me a headache talking about it. I hated this movie. I was really disappointed because I thought it was going to be a fun, ridiculous, like similar to like you know what I thought we were going to kind of get was something maybe kind of like whatever the fuck that movie was called, where they were like the modern day gods and they were like using guns and stuff.
Ember Days?
Yes, I was thinking it was gonna be something like Ember Days, except more like with demons or whatever.
Yeah,
and that's
no.
not. It's just I think that's kind of what they're going. Well, I don't say that's what they're going for. It's a whole different thing, but they're going for like that, like deep lore, like modern day, kind of like Buffy or something. I don't know, but it's just none of it makes any fucking sense at all. I cannot stress enough how incomprehensible this movie is. Don't watch it, or do. It's on Daily Motion, and I couldn't find it anywhere else. But I would not recommend it.
Probably a reason you couldn't find it anywhere else.
The demon goat orgy,
maybe that also just like
burying it. Like we don't want this to know that we don't want anybody to know that this movie exists.
Yeah, it's like the Star Wars holiday special.
Yeah.
Like it only exists in those bootlegs.
No, that makes sense because this everybody should be ashamed of this in the world, not just the people that worked on it. Like we as a human species to be ashamed that we got to the point where this could be created, because this is absolute trash. Bad. Kyle, if people want to support us, they can head over to patreon.com/GBorBB to support us and get access to stuff, including going forward some shorter, fun little videos for bonus content where we're going to talk about little like silly corporate training videos or blah blah blah, whatever stuff like that, like weird short videos.
Anything that tickles our fancy, anything that people will be like, hey, take a look at this, and we're like, hell yeah.
Again, all of the guys involved in creating this are all so divorced. It's so clear because the other guys, like, there's another one where it's like, he's got marital problems. He's miserable just like the rest of us.
He tells us that he has had some marital problems, that maybe his home life has its share of problems, and he's got financial woes. He's got all the kinds of problems that we relate to as people.
It's like, what is going on here? And then I love, they also have the tagline with all of this. So Mr. Delicious's tagline is Dickety Dee, but the simultaneous tagline for Rax during all of these commercials is Rax, you can eat here.
Yes, that's their tagline to their restaurant. It's great. Rax, you can eat here.
Rax, you can eat here.
Also, especially if you're a patron, but anybody, if you have recommendations for that stuff that we can find on like YouTube or, that's the thing is it's hard to find because like when Red Letter Media does it on Wheel of the Worst, they obviously have like the videos and stuff. But if you have like, again, links of videos where we can watch any of these kind of things, send them over to us because we're right now we're just kind of searching and finding what we can find. But we would love some recommendations of what you would like us to watch for these. Again, if it's under like 30 minutes at most, but ideally like in the 10 to 15 minute range would be perfect, kind of for length. So if you have any of those, send them to us. I have a podcast called This Film Is Over. We're talking about movies that are based on books. When this episode's out, the most recent episode will have been Thunderball, our first James Bond. Nice. First time doing a James Bond book.
Isn't the one where he switches from the Beretta to the PPK?
Couldn't tell. I haven't seen Thunderball since I was like 9, so I was a little kid, so I could not tell you. But yes, we'll be doing Thunderball over on This Film Is Lit. We do have merch. Head over to tpublic.com, search for Good Bad or Bad Bad or Quantum Physics, and you will find our stuff. Also, link is in the description. That's the easiest way to get there. That's gonna do it for this episode.
Forgot my watch party stuff, man.
Oh, the watch party! I'm sorry, Kyle.
It's all good. I occasionally throw in some watch parties on our Discord server. It's a fun little Mystery Science Theater-esque style thing where we can just set in. You guys can, there's almost no restrictions. You can jump in, give film recommendations. We can laugh and basically just laugh, cry, make fun of these wacky films. These are like real schlockish. The kind I like.
I'm saying I don't like schlock, Kyle. I love schlock.
We just spent 2 hours. Well, I'd say 2 hours, an hour and a half talking about demon boobs.
You telling me that's not schlock? You trying to tell me that are you telling me that it's a refined cinema that I like watching?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I'm just saying. You said you like schlock. Like I don't like schlock. We all like schlock. There's a whole point of the show with schlock, Kyle.
Schlock.
It's a fun word. Say it again.
Schlock.